Alright, so part of the low light video test, I just wanted to go for a quick spin in the car. We'll see how the phone handles some lower light video. I know we're guided by the headlights of the car, so it's quite cheating a bit, and there's still lots of street lighting, but it's worth seeing how the phone copes in its highest resolution, which is 4K at 60 FPS. I know this part of the road, which runs down the side of where we work, is it's usually quite dark. It's got lots of overhang from the trees above us, so you can pick out the detail or see what's missing if you like. Just let me know in the comments and see what you think of it. So we'll open the window, you can get a sense of the microphones as well, recording the sound. So what we'll do as well in a bit, we'll do some on-foot stabilization tests in both 1080p at 30 frames per second and 4K at 30 frames per second. So we'll just go over the bridge here. Now it's still quite light in this part of where we are. Quite dark at this bit, so it doesn't do too bad. Obviously we are aided by street lighting. You'll have to excuse the windscreen, it's a bit dirty. I do drive on the motorway to work, but so far not so bad at all. Now when we spin around this little mini roundabout, you should be able to see the lighting from the garage, and we'll see how that looks. It is bright red, and usually that can prove tricky with some phone cameras. So here we go, there it is. Doesn't do a bad job at all. Stuff. And the lights of the zebra crossing here should look orange. It's slightly blown out on the camera. Doesn't actually look bad at all. Okay, so the next part of the test then, we'll just do a walking test. We'll see how the stabilization looks and also the quality of the video in slightly darker environment. Alright, so at night, in front camera mode, this is 1080p, 30 frames per second, and I should have electronic image stabilization, just keep things nice and steady behind us. So we are seeing a lot of low light noise. I can see on the front camera. This is shaded by this wall here. No, there is some light just coming up here, which should help with exposure a bit more. There we go. You can see it's a lot brighter now. So don't forget, this front-facing camera is only an 8-megapixel unit. It's not aided by any flash or anything. So just check detail behind us. So this is the building site I've taken loads of pictures of previously, and there's just no low light detail whatsoever there. So we'll just continue. Let me know what you think. Got to be quite careful at this time of night. So let me know, that's in 1080p at 30 frames per second with the front facing camera. Okay, slightly high resolution now, 1440p, but there's no stabilization in this mode whatsoever. So obviously everything's going to look a bit more bumpy behind me. Just seeing if there's any way I can show any scenery behind us. No, it's completely dark. The building site just off to was my left there. All of the lights are switched out on that. And we are getting some low light noise, especially around my face area, but it's not too bad. You can see what's happening, and if you're going to be using this for concerts and stuff, then it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, get a sense of the detail on the brickwork just off to this side of the camera here. If we just turn around and go back this way, you can see it's picking up plenty of detail. It's just hurt by a lack of low light detail, especially in these areas here, for example. So it's not too bad. Okay, so it's 1080p at 30 frames per second. So okay, this benefits from electronic image stabilization in this mode as well. You can see it's nice and smooth on the screen there. So if we see if we can pick out any detail on the site here, yeah, it's not too bad. It is helped obviously by this lamppost, which is off to our right here. I mean, we're not looking for amazing low light video capabilities. We are just looking for serviceable video. This would be great for things like concerts and things like that. And we can make out a college up in the distance there. So, you know, we've got some chroma noise here, which is understandable. So now 1080p at 60 frames per second. Again, with electronic image stabilization. This doesn't look too bad at all. We've got nice smoother movement as well, which is cool. Again, we get some nice detail on the building on the side here. It's just hurt a little bit by exposure, but you know, picking up the darkness of the gates there as well, which is cool. And the sign here. Okay, so taking things up to 4K at 30 frames per second. Again, electronic image stabilization. On foot, we've already seen 60 FPS in the car at night at 4K resolution. And this isn't looking too bad. We are getting a bit of strange light in here. This has been blown out from these lights up ahead of us here. We're just getting a flare. You can see it as it travels down to the bottom of the screen, but not too bad. You let me know what you think. And again, audio recording should be just as good as in daylight. The mics on these cameras are really, really good. So we're going to benefit from any extra detail. Not too much. Again, this lamp is a bit of a pain here. But you know, we're seeing some good detail into the distance there. We can see picking up the building colours there. That is slightly the wrong colour, but look, that we're not looking for perfection here and not looking to split hairs. We see the aircraft warning light on the top of the crane, so that's cool. And finally, on foot, 4K at 60 frames per second. This is just using optical image stabilization, so the electronic image stabilization isn't available in this mode, so we're not getting any benefit of any greater detail, just slightly smoother frame rate as we walk, but at the expense of that additional stabilization method, which is really, really smooth. But I'm trying to hold the phone as steady as I can. But if you use this in a concert, for example, you're going to see really great images. Plenty, especially with the lighting from the stage, it does help with the exposure on the camera, and also what you get then is those really nice inky blacks you seem to get when you get great quality video at a concert. So this isn't looking too bad at all. Okay, so what we'll do next, we'll just check out some low light photo and see how that fares. Okay, so now we're in just the camera mode in low light. So we'll just start off just a picture of some normal day-to-day objects. So look at this no entry sign here. So the AI should work in this, but because there's light in here, it's picking off that, so it doesn't need the low light AI mode. So we'll just click on there, and I'll include all of these pictures at the end of the video. So if we just point here, is it going to pick up that? So we can see that the viewfinder is struggling a bit to pick up the frames there. So again, the AI isn't working yet. So we'll just grab a picture of that. It doesn't look too good at all, to be honest with you. And we can adjust the brightness of the picture. Okay, so what we can do, we can use the Pro modes. Now I have taken a couple of selfies, you will see those towards the end of the video. So what we can use the Pro mode now to try and get a better version of this. So what you need to do is move the ISO down to as low as you can, to around about 100. And then we can increase the shutter speed to around about 10. So let's just get in front of this lamp here. You because it is causing a glare. Okay, so let's just get this end of the building. So we've got to hold the phone really steady. So here we go. So using the Pro mode to capture video, you get control over the white balance and also the focus as well. So we can demonstrate that on this side, which is just coming up by here. So it's currently in autofocus mode. Now I can't use the screen recorder for this mode because it doesn't allow me to actually record any audio. But if we just use this sign now, we can see the change to manual. We can see there that you've got full control over that. So that is a cool thing, especially if you're in a place where the lights are, especially if you go to a concert. I know I keep mentioning that, but if you go to a concert, when the lights are flashing, they will confuse the camera lens and cause the focus breathing effect that you sometimes get. You could just see it there. So using the manual focus allows you to lock, for example, on the stage or something, or moving objects, and that means that you don't get that breathing effect with the autofocus, which is cool. And the f-stop here as well allows us to darken and lighten the scene at the same time. So that is a cool addition. It doesn't make a huge difference to the overall image, but it's nice to have that control at the same time. And with the ISO, it's been preset to 800, so again we can't really see a lot of detail in this building. I know, in all fairness, I can't really see a lot myself because the lights are switched off now. Usually they are on at this time. So that's it. That is low light video. So we're currently in 1440p mode, so no stabilization, but that's how the video looks at night, and also the photos as well. So you let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this last part of my Galaxy Note 9 video and photo test. Wanted to break things up a little bit because obviously the video would have been over 40 minutes long, which would have been an absolute nightmare for many people. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and once again, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, and also if you're new around here, I upload videos every single week, so please consider subscribing if you want to see more great content and camera tests coming very soon. But for now, my name is Mr. West. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.